Hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot, the audio edition, the edition that is meant to enhance your manifesting ability. How do we do that? Well, we stick with as little interference as we possibly can, meaning you're only going to get this one picture on the screen for the entire reading. It runs about maybe 12 minutes, give or take a minute or so. But that's it. You're not getting any other visuals because visuals tend to distract, and in so doing tend to weaken your imagination. Now that's different if you're going through real life and you're walking across a street or you're in a store walking around or whatever. That's a different story. You're participating, and that's kind of a different thing. But when you're just sitting at a screen, your imagination has to get weaker so that you can get into what is going on the screen. We don't want that. We want you to be in sort of a light hypnotic state, an alpha state. Several people have told me that they are into the situation where when they're doing the reading, they'll close their eyes and they'll just listen. That's important, very important. And to just tell you how important listening is as opposed to viewing something. Although viewing is essential to get yourself around, of course. But let's say a song that you haven't heard, maybe 10 years, maybe more, comes on the radio or wherever you happen to catch your music, and you haven't heard it in a long time, and all of a sudden, wow, it just takes you back. That's how powerful hearing is, listening, opening up your imagination. So that's what we do here, because I want to inspire you to enhance your manifesting ability. This is heavy-duty stuff, and that's why this reading is different from every other tarot reading. I want you to like it. I want you to subscribe. I want you to share it with other people. But that's not my primary purpose. My primary purpose is to inspire you to manifest better. So you're going to see some of the interpretations are a little bit different, but it's all aimed at helping you. So let's go. Bottom row, center card. It is the Oracle card. Very important. Sets the tone. And it is new life. Well, as you can see, she does look like, she is rising up, right? You could almost say like stretching, kind of like what you do when you get up first thing in the morning. You stretch and just invigorate, bring the blood circulating all over the place there, and you're getting ready to move, and it feels like that's what she's doing too. Restarting, new life. Good energy, especially right now, because we do have the Mercury retrograde running till I think the middle of May. We're in the eclipse season. Pluto is getting ready to go retrograde. In fact, it's already in that position. I think the 1st of May or something, it starts to go backwards. So it will leave Aquarius for a little while, go back into Capricorn. And by the time we get to the fall, it'll be back into Aquarius to stay for the next 20 years or so. So this is a very, very potent, powerful time. And these eclipses, by the way, also are very important and potent. So this is the perfect time to just restart your life in some way. Maybe from the ground up. But somehow, some way, you need to restart your life. You feel it. And to emphasize that idea, what do we start off with here on the left side of the bottom row? Two kings. King of Swords, King of Cups. King of Swords, the kings are the one that make the proclamation. The queens are the one that gets the work done, but the kings are the one that make the proclamation. So here you have the King of Swords proclaiming the intellect, the superiority of your thinking. Or you need to work in that direction. And the King of Cups is a very subtle influence, but it has to do with love. So here you have the King of Swords focusing on your thinking. The King of Cups focusing on your emotions. Maybe those two have to blend. Maybe that's where you have to work. How about your self-talk? Is it positive for you? Or are you a dummy? Or I should have done this. I could have done this. I missed it. I blew it. Well, the King of Cups and the King of Swords says you need to reinvigorate, to bring new life to your thinking into your emotions. You need to think better thoughts about yourself. Are you perfect? No. Do you aim for perfection? Depending on the day, maybe. But by and large, we really don't focus on perfection. We focus on having a happy, connected life. And so that's what this is talking about. The King of Swords, King of Cups, and New Life says, breathe new light into thinking in a loving, supportive fashion of yourself. Change your thoughts. And to emphasize this, the other two cards in the bottom row are Four of Swords, Ten of Swords. I think the Ten of Swords, even though it's different on the screen, the Ten of Swords I think should come first. Ten of Swords says, man, you have just been beaten to bejabbers. You feel betrayed. You feel let down. You feel stabbed in the back. And for many people right about now, as things begin to unfold on the world stage, you're beginning to fully get the idea, man, they're out to get me. They don't care. They don't care what the average person thinks. They don't care what the average person wants. They don't care what the average person needs. I thought they did. From the time I was a little child, that's what I was told. Coming to find out, government and business have teamed up, and it ain't a good match for the average person. Been a tough time for me, I'll be honest with you. I got a few years on me. And I never in my lifetime ever would have thought that business and government would be so openly abusive of me and negate me. Don't care what you want. We want what we want because we are working with business and they want money and they want power and we're going to work with them because we want money and we want power, and the hell with everybody else. Now, if you're listening to regular mass media, you're not getting this message at all. Too bad. This is where we have all the swords energy here. The King of Swords, Ten of Swords, Four of Swords. You've been lied to. Time to get off of that train. Go to alternative methods. They're on the internet. There are some of them. Redacted Jimmy Dore, Russell Brand, among others, Joe Rogan, and more. But you got to look them out. You got to check them out. When you do, you're going to find an entirely different story. So at this point in your life, you know that you've been lied to. You've been stabbed in the back by the very people, the very system that you thought was there to be good to you. You got to take a break, Four of Swords. You have to stop doing that kind of analysis. Yeah, you need to change your attitude. And that's why we had the two kings, King of Swords, King of Cups. You have to have a much more loving attitude about yourself, a much more supportive attitude. It's critical. And you know it. You feel it. This is the time to make the move. Are you going to get it all done in one day? No. This is going to be a process. But this is where you begin with all of this Mercury retrograde, the lunar eclipses, Pluto getting ready to go retrograde back into Capricorn for a little while. Time is set. Let's go up to the top, far left, Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands says, okay, that's it. I'm going to take a stand. I'm going to stand up for me. For me. Because if I stand up for me, I will stand up for all human beings, all of humanity. That's what I want to do. That's what we need right now. I need to be plugged into a life, a new life. One that I enjoy, one that's exciting, one that's enthusiastic, one that's positive. That's what the Seven of Wands is saying. The bottom row says, man, you've got to change your thinking about you, how you feel about you. And the first card up top, I'm in for it. I'm in for the battle. If I can't save me, I can't save humanity. And I'm not saying that on your own you're going to save all of humanity, but we all are a little candle. And if you work on working on saving yourself, of being positive about yourself, on valuing yourself, that energy gets passed on. And we can have this Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is great, right? It's happiness. It's blessings. It's contentment. You are looking for a life where you have that emotional connection. You got to begin with you. You have to give yourself that emotional connection, because here again we come up with another Ten of Swords. 2 Ten of Swords in one reading. 2 different decks, but 2 Ten of Swords. You know you have been lied to. You have been cheated. You've been taken advantage of. You know that. Whether you admit it or not, that's a whole different story, but you need to. And the final card all the way to the right here in the top is the Queen of Wands. Remember I said the king makes the proclamation, the queen takes care of business. Queen of Wands is very simple, wholehearted, charming, enthusiastic, self-confident. She is plugged into her life. We're talking about a new life here with you, right? That's the initial card, new life. How do you do that? You think differently about yourself. Understand, appreciate that you've been lied to intentionally. That was a manipulation, is a manipulation. More of that coming, by the way. You know it. You have to change your thinking. You're in the mood. You're in the mood, no question. You got the 7 of Wands. You say, I'm ready. I got the Queen of Wands. I'm ready. I'm going to get plugged into a life that means something to me. I am going to be that little candle in my group, in my community, that spreads the light to everybody else. It is time for a new life, which means center card up top, vice versa card, the death card applies. And the death card, not necessarily physical death, but it is a transformation. It is endings, it's beginnings, it's shedding. You have to change the way you think about yourself. You're not a victim. Whatever you do, you have to do on your own. You have to be the bright light in your group. It all begins and ends with you. You want that new life? You want that rebirth? Begin. Begin now. Know that you can change your thinking about yourself. You can be positive. Know that you have to change your thinking about yourself because you've been lied to. 10 of Swords twice in one reading. Grab on to the 7 of Wands. Grab on to the Queen of Wands. To get that 10 of Cups. You can have this new life. In whichever way that applies to you, you can do this. Don't give up on yourself. So that's the reading for today. Back tomorrow again with another Tao manifesting reading. This is where I want to inspire you, fire you up, get you going. Let that imagination go full force. Help you manifest. I hope you can join me tomorrow. It'll be another reading. I do a brand new reading every day, 365. If you can join me, great. If not, between now and the next time we do get together, peace and blessings. And again, live inspired.